Name of base captain. Yang Feng looked at Trong Yi carefully. In this world, at the end of the world, any stranger can become an enemy. No one dares to ignore. But the Highlands only saw one car, 2 people, and a cat. And he's got 10 big guys. To be quite confident in my heart. Who are you from Tay Sun Base? Smile slightly. I'm the captain of the Tay Sun Base. Trong back high. The epidemic does not show its face, so the enemy doesn't know what he looks like. He used the name of the Tay Sun Base because it's more powerful than revealing your true identity. More. The enemy only knows that the Tay Sun Base is no longer, but couldn't appreciate the remaining strength. Tay Sun Base, one of the 4 most powerful military bases. I'm sure other bases are concerned. Of course, when listening to self-presentation, the face of the Highlands became more serious. Rao is the captain of the Tay Sun Base. I don't blame you for coming here alone. The plateau seems suspicious of unwillingness. You're here to kick us out. Don't blame me for not warning. Tai SN's main base has been destroyed. The rest of your forces, not enough to fight our flourishing base. So don't be dangerous. The plateau believes that the people of the Tay Sun Base, even though SAO, this kind of combat outfit, it used to be uniformly built by the military. There are only 4 major bases. It's very difficult for outsiders to simulate. In the end, no one can imagine such conditions. When you see that the enemy does not believe what you say, calm down, it's just a material workshop. If you're at the Yang Huang base, you can take as much as you want. But now, we also need to take some of the material. I hope you don't get in the way. Highland after listening to Zhang Yi. On the face, there's confusion. They followed orders to the Jiang Highway base area to capture vital material sources, but did not expect the remaining forces of the Tay Sun base. However, Zhang Yi is right. I want to own such a large factory alone. Is too hard. They don't need too much building material either. After thinking, Highland told the translated chapter, I will only give you half an hour. Waving your hands towards the car, signal for the 6 flares to come down and walk with him. It takes 6 revelations to distinguish between the 2. And the translation must keep you safe by always keeping you by my side. Highland signaled to his subordinates a few moves. The subordinates understand, make way for Trong Yi to pass through. 6 suddenly, both nervous and excited, rush to the epidemic. For safety reasons, he decided to embrace the 6 revelations in his heart. The sudden warmth makes heart 6 suddenly arrhythmic, so that even in a -60-degree cold, it also makes you blush. Zhang Yi calmly told 6 revelation, let's go. I was worried about the car in the snow, afraid that it will be taken over by the men of the Yangtze base. But our car is SAO. We can't get it back. No wonder they can't take it away. But the translation whispered no further explanation. He always keeps the use of his powers secret. In front of others, his ability is his strength. But it's also the biggest weakness, ever since he killed the Wanderer. This has become a rule. He cannot change in his heart. 6 suddenly bite the lips. Finally, still go according to the chapter, translated towards the factory. Flowers, with gentle cat steps that follow them. Looks very proud. Even in the cold, it still doesn't seem to feel cold. During the Great Plague and 6 Revelation, slowly moved towards the factory. The plateau behind him suddenly opened its eyes wide. His right hand quickly pulled out the gun and point the gun at the epidemic. As soon as the highlands came out, Trong Yi and Hoa Hoa's eyes lit up. Be careful behind you. The wind is never behind my back when you're near strangers. Though he turned his back on the highlands and the others. With the spatial aptitude that he possesses, he's extremely sensitive to all spatial fluctuations. Since absorbing Lao Feng's power, and the team members' special operations team with skills, Zhang's intuition also became stronger. That's why, under high vigilance, when the Kier people's weapons appear, immediately open the door, the space behind me. At the same time, the flower's body swelled up like a giant ball. Even behind the plague and 6 revelation, the flower opened its mouth and screamed, countless bullets like the rain. It all stops on the black fur. The strength of the flower. After the previous battle, the flower also absorbs the abilities of some mutants. Its combat power increased significantly. Now in the face of these close-up shots, it's like a scratching joke. The people of the base were stunned. They've never seen such a mutant creature before. What is this? What is this? One man asked, and the other answered the monster. The plateau also startled a little, but very quickly he reacted. Draw a gun and aim it straight in the eyes. He ordered the others to shoot him in the eye. Highland trees draw guns very professionally. 3 shots were fired straight into the eyes of the flower. He's clearly a trained professional. Have advanced combat skills. The flower is angry. Head tossed up and stopped the bullets flying towards them. The flower quickly rushed straight to the spot. The people of the base are thriving. Campaign does not act. Instead, he's shielding 6 lights in front of him. He has to protect the 6. At the same time, there is an opportunity for the flower to attack. When you look at the fighting power of this group of people, especially if they're mutants or not. Flowers. Although it doesn't feel too much pain, it still shows discomfort. He came and bit half a man's body. The rest of us panicked and rushed. Then they take an action together. Take out a metal syringe from the body and crashed hard into my body. Raise your eyebrows. Their actions. It makes me feel connected to the fact that I injected stimulants when attacking the Tay Sun base. It also seems to be a drug. Can enhance the fighting power. Indeed, after the injection, there were strange red ridges on them. The flower roared and came. Its sharp claws revealed, shining like snow and sharp as a sword. The Kier quickly avoided, and it's clear that their speed has increased many times. It's a shame that their opponents are not human. It's animals. It's known for its speed and agility. In the cat family, under the same shape, cats have almost no competition for humans. Even though we are using boosters, you can't beat them in speed. With their big claws, they can easily handle 3 people. However, Trong Yi quickly recognized the enemy's tactics. Some people in their group have the task of guiding the flower, while the Highland captain led Theo, 5 people to stimulate the epidemic. Though the people of the Highlands, it's behind me, but Zhang Yi can still feel it. Silver handgun in the Highland hand suddenly glowed brightly. A hot bullet fired towards the epidemic. This is his superpower SAO. 6 revelation follow closely behind the footsteps of Zhang Yi. No need to climb the wall. He just orders the flowers. Go there and open the way first. The flower heard the order to move forward, using its enormous body to start acting. The flower kept aiming straight at the wall and rushed too. In just a moment, it smashed a big hole in the wall. Then Zhang Yi and Kai Yuan together enter the material storage room through that hole. They don't understand the documents related to treatment, and he's hiding because he never learned about them in college. So he followed the 6 revelations. Who selects the necessary documents in Trong translation? I'm going to collect 10 of them into my hyperspace. He took everything he needed. Don't leave anything for others. The fluid has just collected material into heterospatial space. Just thought to myself, if the plant is not too big and to save time. He really wanted to move the entire room. Material container. After half an hour, they harvest a lot and leave the factory. Drive to people in. A cat left one way. The wind did not turn away. Back to the garden. He's driving and breathing and talking. The war game is about to begin again. Blink a wink. You suddenly have an idea if you've come to this step. They make good use of the enemy to solve all the nuisances of magnetic resonance. He looked at the 6 lights next to him. But I didn't reveal my plan to you. But he had a plan in mind. To attract the enemy's attention from the trauma. I have 6 signs on the way back. Van Co Manor. He now realized that other forces began to invade the former territory of the Tay Sun base. Meeting the plateau in the material workshop is not the surprise for him. If there's no surprise, now if he goes to Tay Sun in Jiang Highway, where to store other important supplies, you will also find out the presence of other great powers. And the translation, continuously destroy the people of the Million Weapons base and the Yangtze base. It also means that the war is about to start. The difference is just when they find out who did it. It was Zhang Yi and attacked him. Within this limited time and scope, he told himself to prepare everything well. On the way back, Zhang Yi told 6 Revelation. About today, we've got people from the Yangtze base. Don't tell people yet. 6. He was a little surprised and immediately asked, why, if we don't tell people about the imminent danger, how can they prepare? It is enough to know in our hearts. Take the translation seriously. I promised I'd urge everyone to speed up building the line and not allow them to leave their hiding places arbitrarily, as this is temporarily impossible to let them know. I don't want to create one. The crisis is not necessary. You understand it is not possible. When we feel it's time to inform everyone, I'll say it myself. Zhang Yi stared intently and 6 Revelation, calm eyes, as if it contained the power of honesty. Reliable. 6 suddenly silent for a moment, then nod gently. Even though she didn't know what Zhang's specific purpose was. But your heart is always on him. She fully supported Zhang's decision. 6 Revelation speaks with a sweet smile. I see. The CA campaign must be doing this for the benefit of all, right? Zhang Yi laughed and lightly stroked her hair. As long as you understand, I did it for you and everyone else. This word makes heart 6 suddenly beat faster. That's right, Zhangji will never hurt you. You will obey all orders of Zhangji. Seriously. While Zhang was driving, his eyes flashed an unusual shade. He's hiding this news, not just from everyone, but also with salary approvals. The plan is to use the power of 2 great powers to handle thoroughly the students slowly out. So he has to make it. Wages believe that the danger will not come in a short time. For safety reasons, the best way is not to let anyone know. The conflict happened when the Plague and 6 Revelation returned to their hiding place. From a distance, they saw a huge wall of ice and snow. It's more than half built. With a thickness of 10 meters, the wall is made of 2 large layers of ice, also fixed by steel frame inside, making it more difficult to destroy. This is just the first line of defense. When building walls of ice and snow, salary and end view made bullet holes in the ice. Use steel plate. And then they can put a lot of machine guns, tank body cannons and firecrackers on it, turning it into a thick web of firepower. When Zhang Yi and 6 Kai suddenly got out of the car, moving towards them with a warm smile on their face. How did the king ask? The collection of 10 documents went smoothly. No. Are there any obstacles or suspicious people? The gentle, smiling movement is very favorable. No obstacles on the way. I said no. Other forces. He's busy stabilizing his territory. They don't have time to. Taking over the resources here. 6, she said nothing. Just gently follow the translation chapter. I saw that and the expression of relief on my face. It's good that everything is fine. Otherwise, we really don't know what to do. She's worried about the safety of her students. Like this time, Zhangji had an unusual attitude. Your concerns are not unfounded. Even though we feel there's no danger now, but careful preparation is always necessary. He looked at the 6 people standing next to him and walk up to the browser and whisper. However, browsing. I have no hesitation for your students. Move to a safe place when in danger. But Grace and Light are here. We really have no solution. However, the conflict between them is not just one. It can be solved in 2 days. Let them live under one roof. It's not fair to be kind and kind. Zhangji is determined to change this view. Because he knows well, the danger of concussion will return soon. If he insists that there's no danger, then, in the future, his salary can be blamed on him. So it's better to focus on conflict. The students from the trauma. Yang Xin, Han, and 6 Revelation. They're both students of the salary department. So she's doing SAO. She can be biased. Indeed, after listening to Zhang's analysis, browsing without hesitation. In your heart, you'll definitely be closer to your brother. And 6, of course, even if they are good students. We've been living together very well these past few days. It's not like the students who are slowly coming out. It only brings you trouble. Your way of speaking is not wrong. Your opinion is also reasonable. But at this moment, Zhang Yi gave a sign for the future. When you see it, you understand. It's time to act. 6 suddenly moving forward. He looked at his salary with eyes full of pity. Her salary. Why do we have to keep them close to us? When we celebrate and we see them, I remember the days at school. Tian Than. During that time, do you know how cruel have they been to us? I can see the suffering face of the 6 Revelations. Can't help but feel regret. You know that among the students, there's bullying and distance. Retreat. But at that time, she is busy and tired of dealing with flowers. So don't pay attention to those problems. Now remember, you really didn't take care of your dog. And 6 just right. Although far away, but he immediately. I can feel the power in that bullet. However, for him, unless it is an attack over the highest energy limit that his space can endure, every bullet, every weapon means nothing to him. Don't. All 5 bullets disappeared 3 meters away, as if they'd never been shot. The plateau immediately realized what the situation was. You're also a mutant. But even if he has time to regret, there's no time to run away. Put your hands up. The yellow gun came out of the air. Let you also see my power. And he said softly to the 6 Revelations, cover your ears. Sixth, then he obeyed the command to cover his ears, looking up at the epidemic. He remained calm as usual. Quickly pull out the gun. Six started shooting back and forth towards the 5 gear. Don't. When the Highlanders and their comrades watched, I saw Trong draw his gun. They immediately dodge instinctively. The Highlanders shouted to disperse the battle. However, although they're flexible about evading based on combat experience, 5 bullets from Zhang Yi's gun seems to be able to lock them down. The bullets on the middle stitch move in orbit. Bizarre and accurate. It hit everyone's forehead. 5 people, including the Highland captain, all fallen to the ground motionless. In the moment of death, their faces were still confused. Even though they're people with a lot of combat experience, they're still shot dead. Exactly right, although ready to defend. The name Highland before falling. Still can't understand. Why does the bullet turn in the air? If the campaign targeted that AI, unless the person can move faster than the bullet, it's useless how they dodge. 6, of course, Zhang Yi killed 5 gunmen in a clean way. Admiration in your eyes is about to overflow. CA is really handsome. In a place not far away, they also quickly ended the war. Get some kir in your mouth. I can't help but vomit. Chun is muttering. It's you who make us act. Look around full of dead bodies. Reluctantly sighed. The tree wants to be quiet, but the wind doesn't stop. I'm clearly a pacifist. There are always people who make us kill. He is not afraid of the base. Playing at the same time, Yangsheng base and Dao base. If they attack together, you will also feel a headache. Not out of fear, but out of annoyance. Even if SAO kills, kill the enemy and so on. He can't pamper them either. 6 stand behind, constantly admiring and praising the epidemic. CA, you are so good. So many people. You don't even touch your clothes. They're all dead. Chapter bending down. Began to examine the Highland body. While examining him, he told 6 revelation. Even though we don't belong to the fighting side, but having absorbed so much of that peculiar power. Not too much. We are very strong now. 6 revelation observed Trong epidemic, being careful 6 times on the Highlanders, and asked curiously, the CA, what are you doing? Fine stuff. After a 6-day break, the last chapter found what I wanted. In the jacket pocket of the Highlands. It's a disposable metal syringe. You can see the dark red solution inside. Is this a stimulant that the people of the Yangtze base use? No. I feel it is stronger than what God gave me. In terms of the effectiveness of the drug, it's really powerful. It's capable of giving to ordinary people extraordinary power. Even, it's comparable to the reformed. At the Tay Sun base. Add to that, from the usage of the people at Yang Thin base, it seems that the drug does not require any specific physical condition. Ordinary people can also use it. Store the medicine again, to bring back to Chokai Ni for analysis. This drug, at a time of decision that might save lives. Then Zhang Yi checked each corpse once. But I'm sorry. Except for 2 vials on Highlanders. Others had only 1 bottle and used it all. Fortunately, there are 2. Before I could use the medicine, I was bitten by a flower. Helped to collect 2 more bottles. The epidemic has collected 10. All the information and equipment of these people. It is different from the phone that I use. They carry satellite phones when they're out. This device is much heavier than a cell phone. It usually looks like a brick, but has the full functionality of a cell phone, and even provide information more effectively. The program is planned after returning, will copy data from the phone. Then, Analysis of the Yangtze base's intelligence. Next, he collected 10 pieces of bodies on the ground. Into the hyperspace. Even though conflict broke out, Yangtze base can't help but pay attention to one mutant and more than 10 people. They died, but to delay a little bit of time, let them find out the truth tonight. Nor SAO. At least Zhuo needs more time to perfect the external defense system, hiding place, and so on manner. After 10 is done, the police also cleaned the scene, including the snowmobiles that the Yangtze base uses. He also returned. Not because he needs them. It's to avoid them falling into the hands of others. The blood on the ground was cleaned. Make sure no one finds out. The death battle took place here. Throughout this process, Zhanjing acts in a way, calm and not in a hurry. 6 revelation follow and ask Trong epidemic. They're not going to have AI to support them. Trong Yi calmly replied, Yangtze base is more than 200 kilometers away. Even though they have many people and it's got an abundance of fuel. But to fight at such a distance, they'll definitely need to retain a large defense force. This is just a material workshop, not too much military force. It's not worth it, because this is a big fight. Expand translation. Began to absorb the alchemy of the Highlands. Really unexpected. The power of the Highland is not strong. Even not as good as a captain of Taesun's special operations team. With the current status of Zhang Yi, the slag absorption capacity of the Highlands does not bring a sense of satisfaction. It can only be seen as a snack. For Trong Dui, this low-level mutant is no different. What are normal people? It takes just one wave to kill. To speak softly and gracefully. Let's find the documents you mentioned. After returning and repairing the hideout, we need to prepare for a war that could break out. Next. Now, miss, you can also go into hiding. Thanks for the help and support of Yang Shen Han. And 6, of course. And they live together every day. The feeling between them is definitely much better, compared to other students. So when I heard the 6 revelations in tears, the dog also feels hurt. I don't want to do that either. If they can stand on their own and survive the end of the world, that's the best thing. But now, it's clear that there are external factors. If they're hurt right under my eyes, I won't be able to forgive myself. Listen to the salary. Trong Yi thought silently. Salary needs a good reason. To explain the abandonment of the Kier students. A reason you can accept. In my mind, this is what only browsing needs. If it's someone else, people don't want to waste time with them. But he doesn't want to give you up. A person with real power, strong and capable of becoming an expert. Teach him martial arts. Zhang then chose to be a mediator. We shouldn't be talking about this right now. We need to fix the outer wall. Hiding place immediately. Go and prepare the necessary documents. The campaign deliberately changed the subject. It doesn't give salary approval a chance. Continue the conversation. Because if the conversation goes on, things can evolve in this direction that he doesn't want. To push 6 revelation along. And send your eyes don't worry to the browser. I feel warm in my heart. You are always grateful. Because of Trong, I can understand my difficult situation. And 6 revelation to the office. Take out all the documents. To ask about nature. How long does it take to complete the processing of these materials? And then fix the shelter. Maybe think a little and answer. If we just look at the quality of the work, that don't care about America drill. Repair from outside. It can be completed in about 2-3 days. The hardest thing to fix is make SAO so as not to leave a trace. Make sure others don't recognize it. The wall has been damaged. Waving his hand. We only care about the strength of the wall. Other things don't matter. 6. Then I understand the answer. Then she's ready to get to work herself. Ask if you can do it alone. With such a large amount of material, even a grown man. It's all so annoying. 6. Revelation, blinking, laughing, great CA. Everyone is busy. I can slow down alone. It certainly won't affect the quality. And people need to build rooms. External VI, I can't help you. 6. I know this very well. I put my hands in my pocket thinking about some people. He laughed and said, let me call Yang Mi and the other girls to help you. The girls in the house can't help much outside. They should also contribute some of their energy now. 6. Likely laughing that their strength is weak. It's not enough to do these little things. A sigh of relief. Reached out hand, pinched her pretty little face. Don't forget that you are a girl too. If you can do it, why can't they? 6. Suddenly, the red face nods. So let them help us move a little bit of material. Nod your head. I turned around to find Yang Mi and the other girls. They don't have much work in the house now. Listening to Trong Yip assigned, Zhu Hai America and Yang Mi both came to help 6 Revelation. Everyone outside the room, they're all busy. Quickly assess the situation. The ideal situation is within 3 days. Completed from outside and build a solid line of fire. In possession of a large number of weapons. Zhang Yi can confront 2 military bases. It's not inferior. More. Distance from the Yangtze base and the Million Vu base. To this place at least more than 100 kilometers. To have to travel such a long distance. It will definitely reduce their fighting power. Even if you face a fight, the 2 advantages are still in my hands. My body feels a little more comfortable. At least he wasn't worried about the war that was coming. He went to Yang's room and knocked on Han's door. I'm here, CA. Wait a minute. Yang Xin, Han's sweet voice, echoing from inside the room. The door opened from the inside. Yang Han wears a light yellow shirt. He looked at her with a clean and innocent face. CA, welcome back. Smile to the air. Push her wheelchair into the room and close the door behind her. Tell the story to Yang Xin about the people from the Yangtze base. And that he destroyed them. Our trip this time was really interesting. Yang Han is smarter. 6 Revelation and deeper thinking. Don't worry, you'll reveal this information. More. To solve the problem with a group of students who are slowly coming out of shock. The campaign needs the help of Yang Xin Han. After hearing Zhang S. story, of course, I immediately understood why he was looking for her. CAU in a row in the past few days killed the men of the 2 bases, ocean and millions of weapons. AI Ra, they lost important mutants. In the current tense situation, why they may not realize this. Theoretically, they'll be here soon. Smiling softly, I'm not afraid of them. Those people aren't our biggest problem. Yang Xin nodded yes. They're not like Chen. There's no high-level military backing. You can't use heavy weapons like ballistic missiles. So they don't pose a major threat for our hiding place. Yang said calmly. Like that, we can take advantage of this opportunity to deal with students from the Chen family. You don't hate those students, even if you don't suffer. At the school of heaven, even if you seem weak on the outside. But those who hurt you have been burned, killed. You just hate stupid people. Think only of your own interests, without seeing the meaning of their existence. Now they've become a nuisance to Zhang. They naturally want them to disappear. Smile, Yang. We need to borrow someone else's hand. We shouldn't act directly, even though the salary is still of great benefit to us. After saying it, take out a machine. Interference from heterospatial magnetic signals in the corner. He's starting to connect to the power supply. I just did and confirmed with HN. It's annoying, but because of her, everything is worth it. Zhang then took out the satellite phone that he obtained from a member of the Yangtze base and gave him to the bed. This is a satellite phone of the Yangtze base members. Please help me analyze. See if there's any important information inside. After changing the data location, send it back to me. It will be very helpful to me. Liam laughed and said it easily. For you, a top hacker, it's really simple. She transferred all the data from the satellite phone to the computer and tell the translation chapter will analyze the data very carefully. And I'll send it back to you after completion. I have a hard head for you. He put the satellite phone away carefully and left Yang Xin's room. Move out of hiding in the same view. The boss and his team continue to build the line. In the north of the Tianhai city, the Yangtze base area. In the vast snow, it's a big oil refinery with huge pipelines, is spewing thick black smoke into the sky. Even though the temperature around this area is below -60 degrees, but the temperature near the plant is much higher. Tianhai Oil Refinery, largest in Tianhai City. There's oil reserves of hundreds of thousands of barrels. With abundant energy, they don't have to worry about waste. They can even exchange these oil products for other forces. In a factory on the Yangtze base, 2 men wearing torn clothes, tied up with a rope and kneeling on the cold ground. They're not shivering because of the cold. It's fear of 2 people looking down on them. A person wearing a black combat outfit, wearing yellow-rimmed glasses with cold eyes. The rest. Standing out among the warriors was a woman with long hair, wearing a red combat outfit. A soldier came forward and reported to the leader. Of the 5 who fled, we killed 3 people and captured 2. Please decide how to handle it. The 2 men knelt on the ground and hurriedly banged their heads. I'm wrong. Please give me another chance. I promise I won't run away again. Please don't kill me. The girl in red looked down at them with cold eyes. She is a beautiful woman with a cold beauty. But your big eyes, it doesn't contain any human emotion. She watched the 2 kneeling on the ground. It's like looking at 2 pigs. No more than 2 pigs. There are currently 2 pigs alive. It will be more valuable than the living. She asked coldly why you ran away. Even if you need work here, but at least I will provide food and shelter for you. Leave this place. You want to die outside. The men on the ground trembled harder. As the Red Cross approaches, he kept praying for forgiveness. We shy emotional time. Please forgive us this time. The red pepper is getting colder. Now tell me where you want to hide. 2 people on the ground glancing at each other instinctively. No one dares to say. The irony of the eyes from the red. Do you want to go to the snowy area? Like the deceitful woman, right? You 2 dare not answer. There's only one way to stop them. Please forgive us, we will do everything. Their actions are no different. Admit that what you say is true. The girl in the red shirt is the red one. She laughed coldly for an hour. No more interest in greeting. She said to her assistant, "You've recently invented a new kind of toy, right?" Gia San Than Din nodded. The engineering department has studied a kind of necklace. Inside can hide a mini-bomb. Just put it on a slave's neck, and the next time the AI runs away, we can deal with them directly. Xiao Hong practiced listening so indifferently. So let's test its effectiveness. As soon as her voice stopped, 2 necklaces were brought. The slaves on the ground were terrified, trying to scramble to escape. However, they were quickly overrun by the surrounding soldiers and forced to wear their necklaces. She asked him how far the effective distance was. Cat Than Din answered the 5 kilometers bow. As long as we find out the slaves are gone, we'll activate the necklace. No slave can escape. Pepper hunging remote control and talking sarcastically to 2 slaves. Now I'm going to give you a chance to escape. If this necklace explodes, without killing you, only you can survive. You can pray a little. This is also a new product. The effect is not necessarily good. Finished talking, the soldiers cut the rope on the hands of 2 slaves. The 2 slaves looked at the remote in a panic. Red pepper training, the necklace around their necks like a ghost. They're squeezing their lives. You 2 dare not hesitate. Hurry up and run out of the factory. If you run far enough away, the signal won't work. They take this hope and run out. 10 minutes later, use the phone to call out. Ask the soldiers outside, what is the situation? The soldier's name reported. A successful explosion and an unstable one. The engineering department makes SAO objects so poorly. When is their technique? Can reach half of the Tay Sun base. I am satisfied. Red is training me to keep my word. Let the slave Kier run away. I hope he has a better mood. He successfully fled to the land of the snow. Take all the people in charge of this. Of the engineering department, they're all locked up in a dark room for 3 days.